Hello, this is Logan and George, and welcome to a Mesopotamian podcast on the Sumerian Monarchy. To start off, Sumer was first settled by the Ubaidians around 4500 to 4000 BCE. The Sumerians then came into Sumer around 3300 BCE and separated into at least 12 different city states, each worshipping their own god. The Encyclopedia Britannica says that the city states were Kish, Uruk, Ur, Sippar, Akshak, Larak, Nippur, Adab, Umar, Lagash, Bad Tabira, and Larsa. Each city state also had their own king. These city states were like mini countries, basically. Joshua J. Mart for the World History Encyclopedia writes, the Sumerian city-state was governed by a king, the Lugal, literally big man, who oversaw the cultivation of the land among many other responsibilities and was bound to the gods to ensure their will was done on earth. The Lugal was initially head of a household, a close-knit community which pooled their resources, and the household concept would continue as the underlying power structure of the cities.
One big piece of evidence that shows that the Sumerian monarchy existed is the Sumerian king list. This list, written in cuneiform onto stone, has the names of different kings and even a queen, but with often greatly exaggerated years in power. One such example of this is in Urdu, where Alulun ruled for 28,000 years, so obviously it can't be taken completely seriously. Through the Sumerian king list, we see, however, that Sumer seemed to be in a constant state of war with the kingship changing hands and moving to different cities all the time. You will commonly come across then blank was defeated and the kingship was taken to blank, written in the Sumerian king list.
One major king was King Sargon of Akkad. He was the first real emperor, and he conquered most of Sumer. Instead of the city-states as before, he had a territory with numerous city-states which he controlled. He came to power after a coup against the then king, King Lugal Zagisi of Uruk, who had conquered the city-states before him. Encyclopedia Britannica states, Victory was ensured, however, only by numerous battles, since each city-state hoped to regain its independence from Lugalzagisi without submitting to the new overlord.
Not content with dominating this area, his wish to secure favorable trade with Agad through the known world, together with an energetic temperament, led Sargon to defeat cities along the middle Euphrates to northern Syria and the silver-rich mountains of southern Anatolia. He also dominated Susa, capital city of the Elamites, and in the Zagros mountains of western Iran, where the only true contemporary record of his reign has been uncovered. During the rule, however, it was not just all about military and economics. During his reign, calligraphy grew in popularity and art realism was introduced, molding a more artistic and culturally advanced society. Eventually, however, King Sargon of Akkad started to lose his grip on the empire, although not totally. This was because no matter how energetic he was and how much he tried, he could not control the empire for long without a strong administration to keep order. Other than the trouble at the end of his reign, the Encyclopedia Britannica states, there is no evidence to suggest that he was a particularly harsh, nor that the Sumerians disliked him for being a Semite. The empire did not collapse totally, for Sargon's successors were able to control their legacy, and later generations thought of him as being perhaps the greatest name in their history.
In all, the invention of the monarchy by the Sumerians had a gigantic impact on the world. Although nowadays we have strayed away from the monarchies in this age, they were a major part of history. Kings and queens have changed the world, good or bad, and monarchies have only recently in the 1800s to now disappear as democracy and other forms of government grow in their place. One example of this is King Henry VIII making a new religion, and also the Church of England to divorce his then wife. To conclude, monarchies invented by Sumerians have had a profound impact on history and have also been the longest lasting form of government the world has ever seen.